Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling mostly fine, yet deep down something feels off in your body, something you can't quite explain? Let me ask you this. What if right now, while you're listening to my voice, your kidneys are already under silent pressure, working harder every single day, even though you feel no pain at all? I'm Dr. Mark Ellis, and I need to be very clear with you from the start. Kidney damage does not announce itself. It doesn't come with sharp pain or sudden collapse. It creeps in quietly day by day, filtering your blood more slowly, allowing toxins to build up hour after hour, while most people don't realize anything is wrong until it's dangerously late. And here's the urgent truth that scares me the most. By the time fatigue, swelling, or nighttime urination begin, the damage may already be advanced. In the United States, treating kidney disease can cost tens of thousands of dollars every year, not to mention the emotional toll of dialysis or surgery. This is not just a health issue. It's a life-changing crisis hiding in plain sight. But stay with me, because this is where hope enters the story. What you choose to eat in the morning before the day even begins can quietly protect your kidneys, reduce toxic buildup, and slow damage before it becomes permanent. In this video, I'm going to show you how simple everyday foods can become powerful allies for your kidneys, and why making the right choice tomorrow morning could change the future of your health. And if you think this doesn't apply to you because you feel fine, that's exactly why you need to listen carefully until the very end. The first fruit I want to talk about is one most people completely underestimate because it feels too simple to be powerful. Lemon. Yes, just lemon. And that's exactly why so many kidneys quietly suffer while people think they're already doing something healthy. I remember speaking with a 61-year-old patient who told me, "Doctor, I drink plenty of water every morning. I don't need anything fancy." But his lab results told a different story. His creatinine was slowly creeping up, and early signs of kidney stone formation were already there. The problem wasn't hydration. It was that his kidneys were filtering minerals without any real support. Here's what lemon actually does. Lemon is rich in vitamin C and citric acid, and that combination matters more than most people realize. Citric acid binds to excess calcium in the urine, helping prevent kidney stone formation before it even starts. Vitamin C works as a powerful antioxidant, protecting kidney cells from oxidative stress that builds up silently with age. As kidney function naturally slows over time, these small daily protections can make a meaningful difference. A long-term observational study published in the Journal of Urology showed that adults who regularly consume citrate-rich beverages in the morning had up to a 30% lower risk of recurrent kidney stones compared to those who didn't. That's not a supplement, that's a habit. And habits are what decide whether kidneys age gently or under constant pressure. The key, however, is how lemon is used. Warm lemon water on an empty stomach allows citric acid to dissolve more effectively and gently stimulates kidney blood flow. Cold water, added sugar, or bottled lemon drinks completely cancel out most of the benefits and actually increase kidney workload. Half a fresh lemon squeezed into warm water, sipped slowly, is enough. More is not better. Consistency is. What makes lemon so powerful is not that it works aggressively, but that it works quietly, supporting filtration before toxins accumulate, before symptoms appear, and before damage becomes difficult to reverse. And this is exactly why lemon is often the first habit I recommend to adults over 50, who still feel mostly fine, but don't want to wait until they aren't. But knowing this alone is not enough, because there is another fruit that protects your kidneys in a completely different and even more surprising way, and most people overlook it entirely. What makes lemon so powerful is that it protects your kidneys before damage becomes obvious. But once oxidative stress and inflammation have already begun deep inside the filtering units, your kidneys need a different kind of defense. And this is where a tiny fruit quietly does a massive amount of work: blueberries. I once worked with a woman in her late 60s who told me she felt fine, but her blood test showed her creatinine had been inching upward year after year. She wasn't eating junk food. She wasn't dehydrated. What she didn't realize was that chronic low-grade inflammation was slowly damaging her glomeruli, the microscopic filters inside her kidneys. This kind of damage doesn't hurt. You don't feel it, but it changes everything over time. Blueberries are rich in anthocyanins, the deep blue pigments that act as powerful anti-inflammatory and antioxidant compounds. These molecules help neutralize free radicals that damage kidney cells and stiffen blood vessels feeding the kidneys. When those vessels narrow, filtration efficiency drops. When inflammation stays unchecked, creatinine rises quietly in the background. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition followed older adults who consumed about half a cup of blueberries daily. After just 12 weeks, researchers observed significant reductions in inflammatory markers and measurable improvements in kidney filtration efficiency compared to the control group. This wasn't a drastic detox. It was a steady protective effect that accumulated over time, exactly what aging kidneys need. The way blueberries are consumed matters more than most people think. Fresh or frozen blueberries eaten whole preserve anthocyanins. Heating them, cooking them into sauces, or consuming sugar-loaded versions destroys much of their protective power and spikes blood sugar, which puts additional strain on the kidneys. A simple half cup in the morning, maybe with a few crushed nuts, is enough to support your kidneys without overwhelming them. What makes blueberries especially valuable is that they don't force the kidneys to work harder. They calm them. They reduce inflammation, quietly improve blood flow gradually, and help stabilize filtration before decline accelerates. And that calm support can mean the difference between stable kidney function and slow, unnoticed deterioration. But understanding antioxidants alone still isn't enough, because there's another factor that silently pressures your kidneys every single day. Blood pressure, and the next fruit plays a critical role in keeping that pressure from turning dangerous. Inflammation quietly weakens the kidneys, but there's another force that damages them just as silently: pressure. Blood pressure, and when pressure stays high day after day, the kidneys are forced to filter blood under constant strain. That's where guava comes in, a fruit many people enjoy without realizing how powerful it can be for kidney protection. I once spoke with a 64-year-old man who thought his kidneys were failing for no clear reason. His labs weren't dramatic, but his blood pressure had been creeping up for years, just enough to stress the tiny blood vessels inside his kidneys. He didn't feel sick. He felt normal. But normal over time was quietly doing damage. Guava is naturally rich in potassium, and potassium plays a crucial role in balancing fluids and relaxing blood vessel walls. When blood vessels stay more flexible, blood flows through the kidneys more smoothly. That means less pressure on the glomeruli, less microscopic damage, and more stable filtration over time. This is especially important after age 50, when blood vessels naturally stiffen and the kidneys lose some of their resilience. Population studies consistently show that diets higher in potassium from natural foods, not supplements, are associated with better blood pressure control and slower kidney function decline. One regional study following older adults who regularly consume potassium-rich fruits like guava found meaningful improvements in blood pressure stability, alongside preserved kidney filtration markers over several months. Again, nothing extreme, just steady protection. The way guava is eaten matters. Fresh, firm guava provides potassium, along with fiber and vitamin C, which slows sugar absorption and prevents sudden spikes that stress the kidneys. Overripe guava, processed guava products, or guava with added sugar reduce these benefits and can even work against kidney health. One medium fresh guava in the morning, chewed slowly, is enough to support circulation without overloading the system. What makes guava so valuable is that it works upstream. It doesn't wait for kidney damage to happen. It helps prevent the pressure that causes the damage in the first place. And when blood pressure stays controlled, kidneys age more gently, with fewer surprises on future lab reports. But even if pressure and inflammation are under control, there's still another hidden threat most people never consider: uric acid buildup, and the next fruit targets that danger directly in a way very few foods can. When blood pressure and inflammation are under control, many people think their kidneys are finally safe. But there is another silent threat that continues to damage kidney tissue, even when everything else looks acceptable on paper: uric acid. And this is where pomegranate quietly becomes one of the most underestimated kidney protective fruits. I once reviewed lab results for a 67-year-old woman whose kidney numbers were confusing. Her blood pressure was stable, her diet was reasonable, yet her kidney function continued to decline. The missing piece was elevated uric acid, not high enough to cause gout, not high enough to cause pain, but high enough to create constant low-grade inflammation inside her kidneys, slowly wearing down filtration capacity year after year. Pomegranate is rich in polyphenols, powerful plant compounds that directly target oxidative stress and uric acid-related inflammation. These polyphenols help neutralize free radicals, protect kidney tissue from age-related damage, and support healthier blood chemistry, so the kidneys don't have to work under toxic conditions. This matters because uric acid doesn't just affect joints, it disrupts kidney blood flow and accelerates scarring inside the filtering units. Clinical research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that older adults who consumed moderate amounts of pomegranate juice daily experienced significant reductions in uric acid levels and inflammatory markers within weeks. More importantly, markers of kidney stress improved without forcing the kidneys to filter more aggressively. That's the kind of support aging kidneys actually need. How pomegranate is used makes all the difference. Fresh pomegranate seeds or freshly squeezed juice without added sugar deliver the benefits. Bottled juices, concentrates, or heat-processed products destroy polyphenols and spike blood sugar, which adds stress back onto the kidneys. About half a pomegranate or a small glass of diluted fresh juice in the morning is enough. This isn't about flooding the body, it's about steady protection. What makes pomegranate unique is that it works at a deeper metabolic level. It doesn't just protect kidney structure, it helps clean the chemical environment the kidneys must filter every second of the day. And when that internal environment improves, kidney decline slows in ways many people never expect. But even with uric acid under control, there is still another danger that quietly pushes kidneys toward damage. Repeated infections and bacterial stress, and the next fruit addresses that risk in a way very few people understand. Even when inflammation, blood pressure, and uric acid are managed, many kidneys continue to decline for a reason. People almost never connect to kidney failure repeated low-grade infections. Not dramatic infections, not the kind that send you to the hospital, but small recurring bacterial stress that quietly scars kidney tissue over time. This is where cranberries play a role that goes far beyond what most people think. I once followed a 70-year-old patient who kept telling me, "Doctor, it's just a mild urinary infection. It goes away on its own." But every few months it came back. Each time it left microscopic damage behind. Her kidneys weren't failing suddenly. They were being worn down slowly, infection by infection, until filtration efficiency began to drop. Cranberries contain a unique group of compounds called proanthocyanidins. These molecules don't kill bacteria directly. Instead, they prevent harmful bacteria from attaching to the walls of the urinary tract. When bacteria can't stick, they can't colonize. And when infections don't take hold, the kidneys are spared repeated inflammatory attacks that accelerate long-term damage. Clinical trials published in medical nutrition journals have shown that adults who consumed unsweetened cranberry juice regularly experienced significantly fewer urinary tract infections and lower markers of kidney stress over time compared to those who didn't. What's important here is consistency, not intensity. Cranberries work quietly in the background, protecting kidney tissue by reducing one of its most underestimated enemies. The mistake most people make is choosing cranberry products loaded with sugar. Sugar feeds bacteria and spikes blood glucose, which increases kidney workload. The protective effect comes from pure unsweetened cranberry juice or whole cranberries, about a small glass diluted with water, preferably in the morning. No syrups, no sweetened blends, just clean support. What makes cranberries so valuable is that they protect the kidneys indirectly. They don't push filtration harder. They reduce the damage that forces filtration to decline in the first place. And for aging kidneys, avoiding repeated injury is just as important as improving blood flow or lowering inflammation. But even if infections are no longer a threat, there is still one more silent factor that determines how well kidneys age: circulation itself, and the next fruit improves kidney blood flow in a way most people never expect. Even when infections are under control, many kidneys still struggle because of one last silent issue. Most people never think about: circulation. Not heart circulation, kidney circulation. And when blood doesn't flow smoothly through the kidneys, toxins linger longer, oxygen delivery drops, and damage slowly accumulates. This is where Plums quietly step in with a benefit few people expect. I once reviewed imaging for a 68-year-old man whose kidney decline couldn't be explained by blood pressure, sugar, or infection. Everything looked acceptable. But Doppler imaging revealed reduced microcirculation inside the kidneys. Blood was reaching them, but not efficiently. Over time, that lack of steady flow was starving kidney tissue of oxygen, accelerating functional loss. Plums are a natural source of vitamin K, a nutrient essential for vascular health and proper blood flow. Vitamin K supports healthy blood clotting balance and helps keep blood vessels flexible rather than stiff. When kidney blood vessels remain flexible, filtration becomes smoother, oxygen delivery improves, and waste products are cleared more efficiently instead of lingering and causing oxidative stress. Observational research on older adults has shown that diets richer in vitamin K containing fruits are associated with better vascular integrity and lower markers of chronic inflammation. In studies examining kidney circulation, improved vascular function consistently correlated with slower decline in glomerular filtration rate. This is not a dramatic overnight effect, but a quiet, protective one that adds up month after month. How plums are consumed is critical. Fresh plums or lightly soaked dried plums without added sugar preserve vitamin K and natural polyphenols. Sugary dried plum syrups or heat-processed products destroy much of this benefit and create blood sugar spikes that increase kidney workload. 5 to 6 fresh plums in the morning or a small portion of unsweetened soaked plums are enough to support circulation without overwhelming the kidneys. What makes plums special is that they don't target toxins or bacteria directly. They protect the pathways that allow the kidneys to do their job. When circulation stays healthy, everything else from filtration to recovery becomes easier for aging kidneys. But even with circulation inflammation, pressure, and infections addressed, there is still one final factor that determines whether all of this protection truly works or quietly fails. And that last piece surprises almost everyone. By the time we talk about circulation, inflammation, infections, and pressure, most people assume the hard work is done. But there is one final factor that quietly decides whether all these protections actually work or slowly fail. And surprisingly, it comes from one of the most common fruits in the world, the apple. I once spoke with a 72-year-old man who followed nearly every kidney-friendly rule. He drank enough water. He avoided excess salt. He ate fruit daily, yet his creatinine kept rising. When we looked deeper, the issue wasn't what his kidneys were filtering. It was what his gut was failing to remove before toxins ever reached the kidneys. Apples are rich in a unique soluble fiber called pectin. Pectin binds waste products such as urea, excess nitrogen, and metabolic toxins in the gut, helping the body eliminate them through digestion instead of forcing the kidneys to filter them from the blood. When this burden shifts away from the kidneys, filtration pressure drops, inflammation calms, and creatinine stabilizes more naturally. Research published in nutrition and nephrology journals has shown that higher dietary intake of soluble fiber is associated with lower blood urea levels and slower progression of kidney function decline in older adults. In simple terms, when the gut does more work, the kidneys suffer less. And apples are one of the most accessible, gentle ways to make that happen consistently. How apples are eaten matters. Whole apples with the peel intact provide the most pectin. Applesauce juice or peeled apples lose much of this benefit and often spike blood sugar, which increases kidney stress. One medium apple in the morning chewed slowly is enough to support gut detoxification without overwhelming digestion. No supplements, no extreme protocols, just consistency. What makes apples so powerful is that they don't act directly on the kidneys at all. They act before toxins ever reach them. And this upstream protection is often the missing piece that determines whether kidney decline slows or quietly accelerates despite doing everything right. But even knowing all 7 of these fruits is still not the full story, because there is one final mistake most people make in the morning that can undo all of these benefits and push the kidneys toward dialysis faster than anyone expects. Before we end, I want you to remember something important. If you're listening to this right now, it means you care about your health, and that already puts you ahead of most people. Kidney damage doesn't happen overnight. It builds slowly, quietly over years. And the good news is, small daily choices made early can change that path in a powerful way. You don't need extreme diets or complicated routines. What your kidneys respond to most is consistency, simple foods, gentle habits, and paying attention before warning signs appear. If anything you heard today felt familiar, that's not something to fear. It's a signal. And signals are useful when we act on them in time. If this video helped you understand your kidneys better, I encourage you to save it so you can come back to it later or share it with someone you care about. and make sure to subscribe to the channel. I regularly share clear, practical medical insights to help you protect your kidneys, understand your lab results, and make smarter health decisions as you get older without confusion or unnecessary fear. Most importantly, I want you to leave here with hope. Your kidneys are resilient. They respond to care. And as long as you're willing to listen to your body and make small changes, it is never too late to protect what matters most. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.